Hi everyone! If you don't know, my name is Abigail, and today is really exciting because we are going to be doing my first ever Reddit reaction video. And if you don't know, this is actually only my second video ever. If you check out my channel, if you haven't seen it, there is a kind of channel introduction video that's on there. If you did see it, you might notice I have a different mic this time because there were some issues with the last one, and so I'm gonna see if this one works better. If it doesn't, we'll figure something else out. I don't know. So yeah, let's get started. I figured for my very first Reddit reaction, we would go with a classic. Am I the asshole? For those of you who don't know, this is a subreddit where people post stories that are definitely real 100% of the time, asking, you know, am I the asshole for this or that? So today, we're just gonna read some stories together. I'm gonna give my opinions on them. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions down in the comments, and as always, please let me know if there's anything you'd like to see as far as content goes. If you have any suggestions for how to improve the content I'm making, it'd be greatly appreciated, either down in the comments, or I have my email linked up there so you can check that out. And yeah, if you have anything, just let me know. I'm just gonna be going through here and picking out some titles that seem fun or interesting. Obviously, it's the internet, and in the era of like ChatGPT and stuff, so whether or not any of these stories are real, you know what I mean? But just for the fun of it, like a, you know, a movie or a TV show, we're just gonna pretend. We're gonna I just read a story, and after trying to get through it, it's just I decided to scrap it. The grammar and punctuation was, I couldn't get through it. I was struggling. So we're gonna move on to the next one, and this one, let's just get into it. Full disclosure, this one's already been rated as not the asshole. I'm gonna do my best to not let that affect my judgment. If I disagree, I'm gonna disagree. But, let's see. The title is, Am I the Asshole? Peed Standing Up in Traffic Jam.
Huh?
Like, did you get out of the car? Like, on the middle of the highway? Or... let's read this. Throwaway. I am 26, female, and my boyfriend is 25, male. We got stuck in an insane traffic jam. Boyfriend was driving, we were at a standstill. Found out later on that they had closed the highway. I had to pee really bad. Like, bad. I saw that a couple guys had run to the side of the road to pee, and I decided to do the same. It was super open, with a few bushes by the side of the road, really not much covered. I have a stand-to-pee device in my car. Wait, is it like, what is it called? The Shewees? Wait, I gotta look this up. Shewees, I swear, that's what. Yeah. It's like a funnel. Look at this. I might not be able to even show that. I'm worried that the algorithm might interpret it as something else. Here, this is a good. I feel like, you know, I shouldn't have to explain how this device works. I feel like all I need to say is, you know, if you get it. Let's go back to the video. I spent way too much time on this. Okay, I have a stand-to-pee device in my car, but when I grabbed it, my boyfriend got all weird. He said people would see me pee standing up and think I was trans. Out of all the concerns to have, of which I can see some valid concerns, that one didn't cross my mind, I gotta be honest. I said no one would think that. Plenty of women have pee funnels. And that also, I didn't care. I have no beef with trans people. Thank you for really emphasizing that. He said I should just squat, just to put his mind at ease. Buddy, if I'm like relieving myself out of your mind is not on my mind, does that make sense? I said I didn't want to get my butt and you know, I didn't want to get my down under out on the highway in front of everyone or get pee on my shoes, and I just wanted to be quick and clean. He said he didn't want people to look at the girl he was dating and think she was trans and that I should just squat like girls do. I'm so confused. Does he know everyone like on this road that's in this traffic jam? Are these like his friends and colleagues? Why does he care? I finally couldn't hold it anymore, and I really didn't want to show the world my butt. Understandable. Yeah, that's the other thing. Would your boyfriend rather you expose yourself more? Oh, hello. Sorry, there's a baby here. Hi. Yes, you can see. Hello. So I ran to the side of the road and slipped the device into my jeans and just peed standing up with my back to traffic. No one could see anything. It just slides through the zipper. But I guess maybe if someone was looking, they would be confused. I don't know, man. It's weird if anyone's looking, right? When I got back to the car, my boyfriend wouldn't talk to me. He says I disrespected his feelings, but it was 100% an emergency. Am I the asshole? No. What? That's such an odd thing to be upset about. I can't imagine being like, no, you have to go to the bathroom a certain way or else my feelings are gonna be hurt. What? Update to all the other commenters asking, yes, he is an ex-boyfriend now. Yeah. And yes, there were other red flags. Ditched the man, kept the pee funnel, smart. Gonna laugh at him every time I pee standing up. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend would have preferred for everyone to see your ass and vagina than have a random stranger think his girlfriend is trans. That's what I'm saying. Why? Oh, hello. You can't. I don't know if I can. Oh, you can see. Hello. She's reaching up at my arm. Oh, let's reposition this. Oh no, I shouldn't have messed with this. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Get a better boyfriend. I kind of have to agree. He also apparently thinks that it's normal for people to stare at strangers who are trying to pee in order to evaluate them and then analyze who they're with and their relationship. That's what I'm saying. This is so strange. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend is clearly transphobic. I mean, it seems that way. You don't have to date a transphobe, or well, no, definitely don't date a transphobic person. But you don't have to date a trans person. You don't have to, want to date trans people in general. But if you start worrying about, people thinking that you're dating a trans person, then it starts to cross over into like, why don't you want people thinking that? I'm gonna move on, because this is just very strange. This is not... I honestly, when I read this title, I didn't know exactly where it was going, and as I started to read it, I kind of figured that it was going to be an issue of like, I don't want my girlfriend doing that in front of a bunch of strangers. Like, I don't want her exposing herself. Turns out, he did want you to expose yourself. He was fine as long as there was no way anyone could mistake you for having a penis. Like, it's so strange. Alright, let's go to the next one. Ooh, this one is interesting. Am I the asshole for thinking my daughter will look back and wonder why we treated her differently? Again, full disclosure, this is another one that's been rated, and it's been rated not the asshole. Our son, 5, Ken, was born on St. Patrick's Day. That's fun. It was, as of recording this, it was just St. Patrick's Day recently. When I was near my due date with our daughter, 2, Amy, I hoped it'd be 11/11, so both my kids had a lucky holiday birthday, but she wasn't. Second child thing is 100% a thing. I haven't felt as controlling. Oh, okay. I was confused as to what that meant. I haven't felt as controlling of things for her as I did when Ken was born, with making everything just right. There was a lot of anxiety when he was born. Could also pertain to being a COVID baby. That would make sense. And even without the COVID stuff, first kid, I would be a wreck. I would be a mess with if I had a baby, a living baby. Obviously a living baby. But if I had a baby to take care of, I would be terrified all the time. Ken has a party every year since his first birthday with all our friends and family. Amy has a small party in her home with some close friends and even fewer friends invited due to size. We wanted to have a big party and planned to maybe hold one later for her, but we weren't able to. She did get a big party at her second birthday, but I still feel guilty for that first one. Girl, why? she's not gonna remember it. I don't think she's gonna be worrying about that too much. 2 years ago, I was babysitting my niece, who's 5, and she was saying she needed to make a leprechaun trap for school. Yeah, they do that in some places, don't they? I never have made a leprechaun trap, but I guess I've heard of this. We helped her build one and built one ourselves. This is the 3rd year a leprechaun has been to our home, causing mischief for a week before the 17th. I like you putting it this way, as if the children are reading over your shoulder, so you can't say we've been making it seem like this leprechaun. You have to be the leprechaun, the leprechaun has been here. I thought that the leprechaun was a new thing that parents were doing for their kids, like the elf in the shelf. That's what I'm more familiar with, is Elf on the Shelf. And my family, that I remember, never did that. In no way did I think it was going to be strictly a leprechaun visiting Ken because of his birthday. That is what it has turned into. Ken gets so excited about Rascal, so Rascal is the leprechaun, but apparently neither my brother nor sister did it this year for their kids, even though they did it for the last 2, because leprechauns are only coming for kids born on St. Patrick's Day. Who makes all these rules? I didn't know there was so much lore about this. I don't know how the heck that happened, but I at least thought the leprechaun was here visiting Amy as well. Am I being dumb? Because now I'm starting to worry that you actually do think there is a leprechaun coming to your place. Surely you have control over the situation. You can make it clear vicariously through the leprechaun that is not just about Ken. I didn't get to talk to my husband last night about it, but we woke up early to decorate this morning. This is the 3rd year that Ken has woken up to balloons and streamers everywhere for his birthday. I asked DH if we were leaving some coins behind for Amy. He said no, since the leprechaun is only here for Ken. I asked if that meant we were going to find something special to do for Amy's birthday then. He said no. He said that by the time she's old enough to realize there was a leprechaun for Ken's birthday, we will have stopped because Ken will be old enough to know they aren't real. My issue is maybe she won't realize that she, there was a difference in how they were treated, she won't remember it. But I do wonder how she might feel if, when both kids are adults, y'all are when Ken was little, we would do this thing that made his birthday extra magical and special, and then Amy's oh, that's so fun, what did you do for my birthday? And they're nothing. It's just a normal birthday. You don't get magic. You don't get a magical creature on your birthday, Amy. What? I just wonder why he doesn't want to do something special for her. I don't believe that's true. We started the leprechaun when Ken turned 3, only 8 months older than Amy is now. Even if we do it 2 more times, it's enough for her to know. I don't know how the memory of a child works. So I'll take your word there. Also, when she's an adult, I don't want her to look back and wonder why we basically did a week-long celebration of her brother's birthday where he'd wake up to streamers and balloons everywhere, and she didn't. Yeah, that's, like, why are we not putting in, like, you don't have to do the same thing for the different kids, but I think there should be a relatively even amount of effort going towards the kids, if that makes sense. Like, and if there's a huge disparity, for example, one kid gets like a whole, like you said, birthday week and a magical creature, and the other kid doesn't get any of that, that might be a large enough disparity as she gets older to be like, why do I not get all this effort put into me the way he does? Coupled with the first birthday, I still don't think that first birthday is gonna matter at all. And second child syndrome, is it wrong to worry about her feeling differently? My husband thinks I'm ridiculous for wanting to figure something out for her birthday. We fought about it, and he thinks I'm an asshole for trying to make things more difficult. But that's not your intention, though. You're not going about this trying to make things more difficult. You're just trying to make it relatively even between your two children. But overall, no, I don't see anything wrong with wanting to put in like the same amount of effort for both your kids, and I'm curious as to why your husband doesn't, like, is so against this. I don't know, like, how upset he is, but, you know, I don't know, just kind of odd. There is an update or an edit to add, but first I'm just going to read some comments. The fact that Ken's birthday is St. Patrick's Day has nothing to do with the fact that he wakes up to a house full of balloons and streamers, and his birthday is celebrated for a full week. You can put up balloons and streamers for Amy. You can have a party for Amy. Her birthday is special because it's her day. It doesn't need an external celebration to add to it. Yeah, like, you can still do, like, a lot of these things, celebrating it, you know, if you really want to keep, like, celebrate it, like, the week leading up to it, and waking up to balloons and streamers. I think that's fun. It's just very strange that your husband doesn't want to. You are treating her differently. She doesn't have second child syndrome. She has crappy parents and a crappy family who treat her like a second-class citizen. Damn. I feel like maybe that's a little harsh. I don't know that we can definitively say that from this post, but maybe. I don't know. I mean, seriously, let's give her an ounce of credit. She realized what was going on and is trying to fix it. The husband is the one who doesn't think there's a problem. Yeah, better late than never. Like, we all make mistakes, and we all go about things the wrong way sometimes. You know, and in those cases, the best thing you can do is do your best to realize that and rectify it as best you can. And it seems like she's trying to do that, whereas he's like, no, why are we gonna have party for her? No, like, what? I don't know. Let's read the edit real quick. To everyone that genuinely responded, thank you. After sitting for a bit, I proceeded to do more mischievous things besides the balloons and streamers. I made a note from the Leprechaun stating he loved the balloons and streamers Mom and Dad put up for Ken's birthday, that he hoped both kids had a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Good, you're including the daughter, that's good. I waited until the kids got up, let my son know me and his father did the birthday streamers and balloons, and read him the note, so he is well aware that the Leprechaun was both for him and Amy. I don't think that he himself ever realized or thought the Leprechaun was only for him. Yet he didn't even, the kid didn't even think it was just for him. None of this needed to be an issue at all. I also made a big deal with Amy, showing her what the Leprechaun left her. I then told my husband that we are going to be decorating the house every year for both kids, and they will know it's us and not some magical creature. I feel for every one of you that were made to feel less than another sibling or cousin. I will make sure I do my absolute best to make sure neither of my kids ever feels that way or thinks they're unequal. I think that's great. I'm not gonna call OP like a boy mom. I think at worst it could have been heading that way, right? But she's kind of nipped it in the bud, which is good. So yeah, I think that's great. Whoa. All right, so I've been recording at this point for over 2 hours. Y'all will not see those 2 hours. I know I've got a lot of editing ahead of me, but yeah, I'm probably gonna record one more video of this, but that's gonna be it for this video. I really appreciate you tuning in. I have been very excited to start making content in general, and I knew for a while that I was going to start off with this type of reaction content. Hopefully you guys had some amount of fun, you know what I mean? The stories we read today weren't like super crazy or anything, but I felt like it was a nice kind of chill, just getting into this type of content. That's gonna be it for now. Let me know down in the comments, like, if you have any strong opinions on this, because I'm just one person, and I'm never going to claim that all of my opinions or whatever are like correct. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about the stories. Again, thank you for being here. I'm really glad you joined me today, and just remember that you are loved, you bring value to the world, and I'm glad you're here.